Good afternoon, Father Tan, Mr. Ursing, Mr. Garrison, other members of administration, members of the board, faculty, parents, families, friends, and most especially, my brothers, the Jesuit class of 2025. It is an honor to have been selected to speak this afternoon about my Jesuit experience. Throughout my life, my mom has always told me something simple. She would always say to, leave a place better than you found it. For much of my childhood, I mainly understood this in its literal sense. Clean up your messes, pick up your socks, and be respectful of places that didn't belong to you. I thought it was just having good manners, but Jesuit has taught me that these words go far beyond tidiness or politeness. It's not just a reminder, it's a philosophy, a way to live with intention, and a quiet invitation to bring purpose into our lives. And as I stand here today, closing one chapter and preparing for the next, I realize that this simple phrase might be the most powerful and honest definition of success that I've ever received. Before I ever sat in a Jesuit classroom, this place already felt like home. I am the sixth of 7 children and the youngest of 4 boys. It's not an understatement to say that Jesuit has been a part of my family's routine for my whole life. I grew up running around the bleachers during my brother's games, listening to the chants of the student section, and playing tag down the hallways or behind the football field. Some of the teachers here today knew me when I was just that kid on the sidelines, trying to convince my dad to let me go get a popcorn from the concession stand. Jesuit was a world I watched from the outside, where my brothers found their paths, formed their character, and were molded by the spirit of the school. Jesuit was a place where my brothers and other young men had became something more. And it feels surreal now standing among my classmates, my brothers, at the end of my own 4-year journey. When we entered as freshmen, we came from different schools, neighborhoods, and backgrounds. Many of us didn't know each other. We were quiet, nervous, and maybe even a little unsure how we'd fit in or what we were getting ourselves into. That first orientation day, I remember getting ready for my school picture and talking with my parents, absolutely confused, asking them things like, what do you mean they wear a button-down and tie and just regular shorts? And are you sure this is normal? I feel like this is just wrong. But that was the thing. Jesuit didn't ask for us to be perfect or polished or even confident. It just asked us to show up. It asked us to participate, and it asked us to lean in. And through these moments, the ones that didn't always feel life-changing at the time, we started to become something greater than the sum of our schedules. We began to change, and we began to change each other. I think back to those first few weeks of freshman year, when everything felt just a little overwhelming. We were trying to learn our way around campus, constantly checking our dress code to make sure we didn't forget our ties or IDs at home. Some of us, myself included, were in complete shock showing up to our first 6 a.m. practice, wondering how anyone could be expected to work out before the sun was even up. But in all the chaos of those first few weeks, came something we hadn't expected, our senior big brothers. These upperclassmen, who seemed light years ahead of us at the time, suddenly extended a hand to us, not in judgment, but in welcome. And that's when Jesuit started to feel real. It didn't matter if we were freshmen. At that moment, we were Jesuit students. We had been accepted and brought into something bigger than ourselves. That moment, small as it may have seemed, was the first time that many of us felt what Jesuit was really about: brotherhood, inclusion, and the quiet but powerful assurance that we belong to the family. Sophomore and junior years were the middle years of transformation. As sophomores, we were no longer the wide-eyed freshmen, but we hadn't quite found our footing either. This was the year we started to take real risks, joining new clubs, stepping into our first AP and honors classes, and trying out for more competitive teams and learning the challenge of growth. Some of us began to find our rhythm, showing up early for practices, staying late for service, and feeling more at home in the hallways. Others were still figuring it out, still searching for where they'd fit. But that was the quiet beauty of sophomore year. We were all searching for something, and even though none of us were searching for the exact same thing, we were all searching together as brothers. By junior year, the pace had picked up. We pushed ourselves harder, not just for grades, but because we were learning to care about the people we were becoming. We leaned into leadership, on the field, in clubs, on stage, and in the small daily moments that didn't need applause. Our retreats provided more personal reflection, inviting us to look inward and reflect with more intention to grow in faith and maturity. And through it all, our brotherhood deepened. We didn't just sit next to each other in class. We began to understand each other. We saw the stories, the passions, and the struggles behind each face. And we started to push each other, not just to succeed, but to become better. Better listeners, better teammates, better friends, better men for others. After these years, Jesuit was no longer a place we attended. It became a second home, a place where we weren't just taught, but truly formed in a community we were actively helping to shape. Now, standing here as seniors, it's impossible not to look back at the moments that have shaped us this year and realize how far we've grown from our first steps into the senior courtyard. As seniors, we began to feel a shift, not just in how we saw the school, but how the school looked to us. We weren't just participants anymore. We were leaders. And with that came the responsibility to live out the mission that had been forming us since freshman year. One of the clearest signs of growth was becoming big brothers ourselves. It was surreal to think back to when we were the nervous freshmen, being welcomed by the seniors who assured us we belonged. And for some of us, like myself, who grew up as a younger brother, it was especially meaningful to go from being the younger brother to being someone else's big brother. We were the ones offering reassurance, showing up early to guide, support our freshmen. This full circle moment reminded us of how far we'd come, not just in age, but in character. We were encouraged to set the tone, to lead by example, and to be the ones who didn't just talk about being men for others, but lived it through our actions. We used the lessons we gathered from the last 3 years, lessons of humility, compassion, and strength, and began to pour them back into our community. Whether it was mentoring underclassmen, organizing events, leading teams, or simply offering a listening ear, we began to understand that leadership isn't about control, it's about service. And as we leaned into that service, something incredible happened. Our brotherhood flourished. We found unity not just in shared classes or games, but in shared purpose. We stood shoulder to shoulder, not for ourselves, but for the greater good. This spirit of unity reached its peak during our final class event, the Jesuit Special Games. This day was not about accolades or achievements. It was about joy, dignity, and the purest form of service, love. We came together as one body, cheering, walking, laughing, and celebrating the guests we had the privilege to serve. It was a reminder of what we had been building for 4 years. It wasn't a friendship. It was a family. A brotherhood rooted in love, strengthened by purpose, and guided by the call to leave every place, every person, better than we found them. Now, as we prepare to leave Jesuit, the mission doesn't end. It begins anew. The lessons, the values, and the brotherhood we've built aren't just to stay behind. They're meant to guide us for who we are for the rest of our lives. We are, and always will be, Jesuit men. And in a world that will challenge our beliefs and pull us toward comfort and compromise, we are called to stand firm, to serve when it's easier not to, and to lead with integrity and to love with purpose. No matter how far we go, we remain bound, not just by memories, but by this shared mission. So when the road ahead feels heavy, remember this: you are never alone. You carry with you the strength of 263 Jesuit brothers who will always have your back. Because leaving a place better than we found it isn't just advice anymore. It's our identity, it's our legacy, and it's our call. Before we go our separate ways, though, it's important to pause and thank the people who made this journey possible. Firstly, to our faculty and staff, thank you for not just seeing us as students, but as people capable of growth, transformation, and greatness. You challenged us, stretched us, and inspired us. You believed in who we could become, often before we had the courage to believe in it ourselves. Secondly, to our parents, thank you. Thank you to every sacrifice, every early morning, every late night conversation / cramming session. Thank you for investing in us, for believing in the value of the Jesuit education, and for giving us the priceless gift of this opportunity. Your love and support are the foundation that have carried us here. Personally, I want to thank my siblings, Grant, Blair, Reed, Shane, Brooke, and Paige, for supporting me for who I am and for my own unique path. for showing me how to always be true to myself. Specifically to my parents, though, thank you for your countless sacrifices you have made for me to attend Jesuit. You've given me the gift of an education rooted in purpose, values, and formation. But even more than that, thank you for providing a home rooted in faith, a place where love was constant, even in those times when I was being difficult. Mom, your late nights at Jesuit to make sure everything is special never went unnoticed. They are a testament to your selflessness, your love, and your unwavering commitment to make every moment meaningful for others. Dad, for always supporting and encouraging my endeavors with quiet strength and unwavering belief in me, even when the path wasn't clear. I'm deeply grateful. And finally, to my brothers, the class of 2025, it is an absolute honor to stand before you and speak today. These past 4 years have been nothing short of extraordinary. We've grown, laughed, struggled, served, and come alive together. And while we close one chapter today, I know that our story is far from over. I look forward to the memories still to be made, the reunions to come, and the impact each of you will have on the world. We are a remarkable class, and I am proud to be one of you. So as we leave this place we've called home, may we carry its lessons with us, not just in memory, but in action. Let us be men who lead with love, serve with humility, and live with purpose. Let us leave every place better than we found it, because that's what Jesuit taught us. That's who we are, and that's who we're called to be. Thank you.